Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Late last night, former San Francisco Giants and Major League Baseball Hall of Famer Willie Mays died at the age of 93. Over 23 Major League seasons, virtually all of which were with the Giants, Mays hit .301 with 660 home runs, totaled 3,293 hits, scored more than 2,000 runs, and won 12 Gold Gloves. He was also a two-time MVP and finished in the top 10 of the MVP voting 10 other times. Sticking with baseball, former Husker Matt Waldron got his 5th win of the season today in the Padres' 5-2 win over the Phillies. Waldron went 7 innings, allowed 1 run on 5 hits while striking out 6 and only issuing 2 walks. Another former Husker also pitches tonight as Cade Povich and the Orioles travel to take on the Yankees. First pitch is scheduled in just a few minutes there. And the College World Series continued play up in Omaha today. Florida defeated Kentucky 15-4 to end the Wildcats season. Tennessee defeated Florida State 7-2 to send the Seminoles home. It's the first time since 1951 that the Vols have reached the championship in Omaha. And finally, Texas A&M takes on Florida in a little bit for the nightcap. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here come the Razorbacks, bumping over the left. Gillen, she's stopped. Rick Allen, block number 11 for the team 16. They're body bumping in Lincoln.
Dillon turns, hands it off to Dowdell, left side, bounces to the outside, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Dante Dowdell.
Shelley throws down low. Markowski kicks it out to Jazz, knocked away by Marshall. 7 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Shelley for 3. You betcha! Huskers take their first lead of the game with 30 seconds left.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Breaking ball outside corner. Make it an even 10 for McConaughey, and the Hoosiers leave 2 more here in the top of the 7th.
Now the 3-2, and Bretwell swings and hammers it deep center field. She's gone! Home run, Eva Bretwell, and a 2-0 lead for the Cornhuskers.
Tominaga with 9, 8, 7, starts down the right side, goes to the right sideline, 4 seconds, step back, 30-footer. Got it! Unbelievable! I don't believe what I just saw. Tominaga knocks it home.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome to our Wednesday show, Hump Day. We're closer to another summer weekend coming up, and I know today some of you had the day off with the holiday, the Juneteenth, so happy Juneteenth to everybody out there. And I know a couple of my buddies were not working today. They were on the golf course, and what a day to play as our temperatures plummeted around here today down to the 70s. It felt so refreshing to be outside today. Camden mentioned in the ticker the passing of Willie Mays, and just a real quick story. I saw the 1973 All-Star game. It was in Kansas City, and that was Willie's last All-Star game. And a lot of people that I respect around Major League Baseball say they think Willie Mays was the best player of all time. Didn't lead in a lot of categories, but was up there in so many of them, and such a great defensive player that they say that's what put him over the top. And Jessica, I think about this in the last couple of days. Willie Mays at 93 passes away, an icon in baseball, and Jerry West passes away in basketball. I mean, those are, and then I guess you could even go back a week or so with Bill Walton passing away. So some really, really big sports names from the past passing away. It's kind of sad. There's kind of an old saying that things kind of come in threes. So let's hope that cuts it off, because sad to say goodbye to some of these sports heroes.
I was just about to say, isn't there something about it happening in threes? But yeah, man, 93 years old, what a life. Yeah. And I'm glad that, again, people can go back and now appreciate what he did for the game. And, you know, he lived so long, and I've seen so many tributes today that, talking about what he contributed. So I know probably his family means the world to him, but sad, but certainly a great life that he lived and did so much for the game.
And what's kind of sad is Major League Baseball is going to play a game, and I think it's the Giants. I'm not sure who they're playing in Birmingham, Alabama, which was the home of the Birmingham Barons, which is where Mays and Aaron and some of those guys got their start in the Negro Leagues. And they're going to play a game. It's this week, I think. And so Willie didn't quite make it because they would have loved to have had him there. They're going to do a lot of salutes to Willie. They were planning this before his passing. But that game is coming up. Maybe Camden can dig that out when it is. But it's coming up here real soon. They're going to play an actual Major League Baseball game in that ballpark in Birmingham. And it's just too bad he wasn't able to live to see that. Well, this is going to be a big weekend for Husker football. We had DB on Monday night. Talked about last weekend was pretty big. Huskers got a couple commits out of that. This week, they've got 11 visitors slated to come for official visits. 10 of them are high school players. And then a big one today. This was reported earlier today by On3 Sports. Sierre Wright, a corner from USC, is going to make a visit. He's in the portal. He started 11 games in 2 years at USC, played in 23 games. He's going to come take a look at Nebraska. So the Huskers may still be able to add a guy from the portal here at this late date. What's interesting about Sierre Wright is this guy has been an actor. He has been in a bunch of movies and TV shows, and now he's playing college football. He's a fascinating young guy. He's appeared in Space Jam, A New Legacy, that came out in 2021. He was in a couple of episodes of Two Broke Girls, which was a TV show on CBS about a decade ago. But he's got a little bit of Hollywood background in him as well, but has been playing for Lincoln Riley and USC, but is in the portal and is going to make a visit to Nebraska. I think, this staff, Jessica, to me, seems like the staff that, if somebody kind of piques their interest, they're going to take a look. They're not just going to go, no, we're good. And I think that's good to keep an open mind about maybe adding a late part or two. Well,
and not to mention just the position that he plays. You go back, I go back to the conversation I had with Damon right after spring football, and that was one of the positions that he said, if you're going to add somebody in the portal here late throughout the summer months, what position group would you target? And I was kind of shocked to hear him say defensive back, more specifically a corner, an experienced corner, because you do have a lot of young guys. You have a lot of young talent in that room, but not as much experience. And so getting a veteran guy that's played some football at this level, I think would be a big get to add some experience to that cornerback room. But yeah, I was looking at his IMBD, Greg. It's impressive. And yeah. I actually read an article that Lincoln Riley was talking about him, that he was on the team and playing well, but then he was not on the team by the end of the year, and his acting, I guess, had taken off. And so he said that he is balancing a lot, that his schedule was pretty demanding. But he actually kind of compared it to when he had Kyler Murray playing two sports. He said, although I guess it's a little bit better because it's not as physically demanding, but you're trying to balance all the things. I wonder if he's really interested in acting, how that's going to look moving forward. Maybe he's going to put that on hold. I don't know where else he's visiting. Have you heard where else he's visiting?
No, I've not seen other stops. I just know he's going to be here this weekend.
So who knows if that's going to play a factor, but that's I think would be a big get to get an experienced corner to add to that DB room.
Yeah, I think they feel so good about Tommy Hill on one side. And then the other one, I just think that they're not locked in. Is it going to be Malcolm Hartzog? Is he going to stay out there on that outside? Or Bly Hill got hurt in the spring game. I think they liked him there, but is he going to be completely back? So I think there is a little bit of nervousness about the opposite corner of Tommy, who they love and think is one of the better corners in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just tough to see Bly Hill go down because they were raving about it. We just heard his name over and over again throughout the spring. Didn't sound like his was as serious, so hopefully he will be able to get back. We're going to check in with Evan Cooper here coming up here, in our position previews for the summer, and hopefully he'll have an update on that. But, never hurts to add some experience. And, as they are able to develop some of those younger guys, because we saw that as we went along last season too. The more that they can get some reps in practice on the scout team, you maybe can bring in these younger guys, and they're going to play a lot of them. You have been an advocate for that since I've known you, and have been on the show with you about playing more than two defensive backs and more cornerbacks, just because of it's a lot. And so to have a rotation there, which we saw more of last year from Evan Cooper running guys in there. So hopefully they can develop some of those younger guys and get them ready to play. But, Searles, when he was in last week, I asked him about that, to rank the positions that are the hardest to play. And corners up there for true freshmen to come in and play right away. So again, I just go back to the experience factor that he's been through this, and that could be a big get for this defense.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, there's no guarantee when a guy comes, and I'm with you. I've not dug in enough yet here this afternoon to see what other schools he's looking at. But, it doesn't hurt. And you get a guy who has started at the Pac-12 level. You at least like that kind of experience that he's played against the high-level receivers that are out there. So, Ceyair, right. It is spelled Ceyar. Interesting spelling of that name. Well, Jessica popped this to me just a little bit ago. Ross Dellinger, who is a college sports writer for Yahoo Sports, tweeted this out just within the last hour, that the NCAA has moved another step closer on the journey to expand the men's basketball tournament. NCAA leadership presented the D1 commissioners with models that would expand the event by 4 or 8 teams as soon as this 25-26 season, so not this upcoming spring, but a year and a half from now for that tournament in 2 years. Boy, I went and looked at some of the comments, Jessica, after Ross tweeted that, and most people were like, no, why? Leave it alone. Even some college basketball writers are like, would you stop with this? You got a great thing. Leave it alone. I'm in that camp. I don't think we need to grow the tournament any more than it is.
Well, I think probably for the NCAA, they're looking at, oh, hey, we can add a couple more TV games for their big moneymaker, probably. But what good does adding 4 teams do? I don't necessarily understand that. I know we had talked about expanding it. It's been a conversation that has been rumored that it was going to happen, and now it sounds like it's going to. But I don't understand the 4 team part of it.
You're just going to add teams that finish 8 and 10 in their league. It's going to be Power 5 to Power 6, whatever you want to. I guess it's back to 5 because Pac-12's gone. But Power 5 teams that finish 10th, you're just going to add them to the mix. If you guaranteed that it was going to be for smaller schools who maybe really earned it, I could go along with that, but I know what will happen. It's going to be the teams that barely make their conference tournament that are going to get in. So that's out there. It looks like that's where we're headed.
My problem with it, too, and so they'll probably do for both the men's and women's, right, is that I already feel like they don't do sometimes a good enough job really studying teams, and I feel like there's a conference bias with some of the conferences. For example, I mean, I promise it's not baseball or softball, but there's the last couple years they've allowed SEC women's teams in that have not had a winning record in their conference. But because South Carolina, LSU was in that conference, they think that they should get a nod up. So if you're just going to, allow that to happen where you're just allowing these teams that can barely even win games in their conference, I don't like it either. And so that's what I hope that. I don't even know if they're doing enough research and diving in and studying on the field right now, let alone adding more teams.
If Greg Sharpe were commissioner, rule number 1 would be you have to at least have a 500 record in your conference or you don't get in. You're not even eligible. They can't even put you on the board to discuss. But again, that's probably not going to happen. Hey, we got a good show for you tonight. Leila Blackwell, who's one of the newest Huskers, a portal transfer to John Cook's volleyball program. Jessica caught up with her. We're going to hear that conversation in a few minutes on Jessica's ongoing series, introducing the newcomers to all of you Husker fans. And we're going to hear from the Sack Man, James Williams, coming up in hour number 2. We also want you to be a part of the program with a call or a text, 402-413-2400. Also want to tell you, if you are interested in working at Memorial Stadium on Husker game day, join us at our in-person hiring event. It's a staff day on July 10th and 11th. We're hiring ticket takers, ushers, parking staff, much more. Come to Memorial Stadium, again, July 10th and 11th, and join the Husker event staff. For more information and to get pre-registered, please visit huskers.com/event staff. We're back to hear from Leila Blackwell. We'll do that next.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, You ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day-by-day donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker Athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Woodhouse Chevy brings you two convenient locations in Omaha and Missouri Valley. Lease a 2024 Chevy Blazer EV for $349 a month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year at our Omaha location. Together, let's drive with Woodhouse Chevy. With approved credit, first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Must have current GM or competitive make lease to qualify. Must have current Costco membership prior to May 1st, 2024. Must have select Conquest vehicle registration to qualify. Offer expires 7/1/2024. See dealer for details.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you. It is a Wednesday night here on Sports Nightly. Jessica's been doing a series of interviews with newcomers to Husker sports. We've concentrated a couple of women's basketball players. We've been starting to work our way through volleyball. We'll get some men's basketball players that are new to Fred Hoiberg's program on as we work our way through summer. Well, tonight, Leila Blackwell, who is a middle blocker, played at the University of San Diego last year, is transferred in to play for John Cook and the Cornhuskers. Jessica had a chance to catch up with her earlier today.
Continue our newcomer series, getting to know the new Huskers that are on campus this summer, and a little Nebraska volleyball edition for you today. Leila Blackwell, the middle blocker transfer from San Diego. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
You've been here for what, a couple weeks now. How have you settled in? It was a whirlwind getting here, but
Yes.
have you settled in all right?
Absolutely settled in. All my teammates and our staff made it so easy, and yeah, I love being here. I actually really like Lincoln.
So you graduated and then hopped in the car and made your way to Nebraska, right?
Yes, graduated on Sunday, drove out Monday morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
How rewarding, though, was that to be able to have your degree and to walk across that stage?
It was so amazing, and I got to do it with some of my best friends at San Diego and my teammates, and it was a blast.
Well, you started your career at Indiana, so familiar with the Big Ten, but went to San Diego and did some incredible things there with that program. But when you entered the transfer portal, can you take me through that decision and what you were looking for in your final year of college volleyball?
Yeah, totally. So I had the best experience at San Diego. I mean, we had a really rewarding year in our 2022 season. I got to play with some really talented players and get coached by some of the best. And I loved my experience there. But after doing some reflecting and just kind of like acknowledging the fact that this fifth year is truly a gift from my COVID year as a freshman, I really just wanted a new experience, and I wanted to go back to the Big Ten. And that was definitely my goal entering the portal, is I want to get back to the best volleyball, best conference, most competitive. And somehow, some way, I got to come here, and I'm just so excited.
That's amazing. So, I got to imagine you had to have a checklist of what you were looking for. So, for Nebraska, other than being Nebraska, what was it that you felt like you could fit here and make an impact here?
Yeah, I mean, I think what stood out to me the most throughout that process was just knowing how strong the team culture is here. And through my experience and through my years of college volleyball, that is something that really can make or break your entire experience. And knowing that our coaches are really supportive of the girls, and we're all really on the same page about our goals and what we want to accomplish during the season. I just felt like something that was so empowering to be a part of, and that really stood out to me the most.
I love that. Well, so you already are familiar then with the fandom of Nebraska volleyball and the Husker Nation. You actually got to play in Omaha in the Final Four. You mentioned that 2022 season. What was that like, and getting to experience that?
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. It was so cold. But we actually, University of San Diego, we had a good section, but a lot of our fans and stuff, we were just new to Omaha, but walking around and being in the hotel and all of that, we actually had some Husker fans come up to us and say, good luck tonight. We hope you guys win.
That's cool.
And that whole thing. And that was really cool to kind of experience, and just I don't know. I think anyone in the volleyball world knows how strong and how supportive Husker Nation is. And even before I had met Ani Evans, even before I transferred here, getting to kind of experience that firsthand was really special.
So you took me to my next question. Ani Evans, she transferred to San Diego last year. You were teammates with her. We love her around here. How good was it to have her to be able to reflect and talk about maybe what you're going to get out of being a Nebraska Cornhusker?
Yeah, it's so funny. And Ani and I talk about this all the time, but her and I are basically just swapping lives for a little bit, because she grew up here in Waverly outside of Lincoln. I grew up in San Diego. She's doing a grad program there, and I'm here for my last year. But it was so important to have her insight, and just getting to kind of, obviously I got to talk to a lot of the girls and a lot of the players through my recruiting process, but also getting to kind of talk to somebody that A, I was so close with, and B, had grown up in Lincoln was so helpful. And knowing that her family is here, and they've been super helpful to me too. But yeah, it was just great to have her insight, and she's just such a special person, and she made such an impact on this program too. So it was really cool to get all the deets from her.
Absolutely, she is a special person. What were some of the things that she sold you on, that she said that you could expect, that you really like what she said?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, she really, really hit home that Husker Nation is unlike anything else. She was like, you're gonna be at the grocery store and like someone might ask you for a picture, or like people are gonna care about like what you're up to, who you are, and they wanna ask you how you're doing. And obviously like this fandom and like the support that our program has is so unique, and I don't think other people in college volleyball get to experience it at this level, which I just thought was really, really special to have all of that support really backing volleyball. Another thing that her and I spent a lot of time talking about was just the competitive nature of being in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that I was really, really excited about and really looking for as well. And just hearing the stories of like her time here and practices and games and all of that, it just sounded like a blast. So yeah.
What does that say about Ani and this program that, you know, she transfers but still has such glowing reviews of Nebraska?
Yeah. I mean, that in itself is like so powerful to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fact that like obviously she's going down a different path now, and she's like doing incredible things academically and like athletically at San Diego, but the fact that through my recruiting process, she's giving me all this feedback and all this insight, and it's just glowing reviews of the program, and she still has a great relationship with the staff and the girls, and when she comes home, she's still basically a part of it. I thought that was so special, and just like makes me want to be a part of that as well.
I love that. So we heard a lot over the spring about, you know, building the culture and, you know, that, and the team wasn't even all together yet. So, but a lot of FaceTimes. How did you go about trying to be a part this spring, what you could, being that you were still in California?
Yeah, definitely a lot of FaceTimes, a lot of texting. Luckily enough, I think both Taylor and I got put into like team group chats, and like we're trying to stay in touch with everyone. But I actually had like a really great opportunity to meet the girls before I even got here. So they were in California playing beach volleyball, and they played down in San Diego, and then they played at Long Beach. So both Ani and I got to go, and one of my teammates from San Diego is Amber Stivrins, who's Lauren Stivrins' little sister. So I actually went with Lauren to one of the beach games too. And obviously, like, that's just the best kind of support to be able to meet all these new people and see them in person and have these like two legendary players from the program. It just made it so much easier.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So take me back to, I know your mom played volleyball, right? Mm-hmm. But how you fell in love with the sport, how you got into it, and leading to a college career.
Yeah. My parents had tried me in soccer and basketball and a little bit of tennis growing up. I mean, sports are just really big in my family. I did not like any of those sports. I remember my mom telling me stories of how when I was really, really little playing soccer, my dad was my coach, and I would run off the field and go sit down next to my dog. So once I kind of found volleyball, and I really stuck with it and wanted to work at it and wanted to like keep playing, my parents were like, oh, okay, this is perfect. Like, let's keep her in volleyball. I started playing at a really small club that started like kind of in my neighborhood in San Diego. And then as things kind of got more competitive, I moved kind of around different clubs, and then eventually landed at Coast. And then, yeah, everything kind of just happened from there.
Wow. So your mom played professionally too, right? What does she ever talk about just the growth, I guess, since she played?
Yeah, she played a little bit on the AVP in her younger years. And yeah, I mean, both my parents were kind of around the beach volleyball scene during that time, and it's just like so different now. Like the support that everyone's getting, the widespread like knowledge of the sport in general. Like there's more people that really know what it is and know the difference between beach and indoor and all of that. And I think especially something that really stood out to them was the stadium match that we had here, but that we got to watch last year. that was just so incredibly powerful to see. Like, that made such an impact on the sport and in women's sports in general. So, yeah, that's very, very cool and very different from just, volleyball a couple decades ago.
Oh, absolutely. I guess you chills just thinking about. So what did your parents say when you said, I'm going to head to Nebraska?
Oh my gosh, they were so excited for me. Yeah, they've been so supportive of me and my career, and obviously have made a couple big decisions just regarding my athletic career before, but I think it was just so exciting for them to really see me getting to come back to the Big Ten. And I think it's honestly probably any little girl's dream growing up to be recruited by a program like Nebraska. And even though I'm a fifth year, it still makes me just like glow that I get to be here and that this is my experience and I got recruited here. And I think they were just so excited. And obviously we know the Evanses, and just there's a great community of support here, and they're really excited to come out for a lot of games.
I love that. So the middle blocker position, you join Rebecca Alec and Andy Jackson, that trio for you guys now. But being able to have 3 different middle blockers that can rotate in and be able to provide for this team, how important is that? And just, again, you talk about the competition in the gym for Nebraska practicing, but how good is that to have multiple middle blockers that can contribute?
Yeah, I think it's going to be incredible. I think Andy and Rebecca are some of the most talented middle blockers I've gotten the pleasure to be on the same team with. I think most importantly, though, it's just going to create such a competitive environment on a daily basis. And regardless of anything else, like, that is really, really important to me. And I know it's really important to them. And they're some of the most competitive girls already I've ever met. And it's so fun in the gym. So, yeah, I think it's just going to be a really good time getting to train with them. And also, even though I'm the old person in the gym now, like, getting to learn from them and kind of pick up, like, our systems from them has been really easy, and they've been so supportive and helpful. So
I love that. So what are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish here during the summer before you guys get all together for team and preseason, all of that?
Definitely taking advantage of the time that we have together. Obviously, some of the girls are out of town right now training with their national teams, and that's so exciting. So the smaller group of us have really been spending a lot of time working out and doing open gyms and hanging out and just building, like, those connections as much as we can. And obviously I really want to build those as fast as possible because our season's going to start very soon. So I think most importantly in the summer, obviously we're getting the reps, we're working hard, we're getting stronger, but I think, like, this program just really strives off of those connections, and it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm building those. So that's my focus.
Oh, that's great. What do Husker fans need to know about you? What kind of player are you? What do you provide? How do you? How are you on the court? What's your style of play like?
I mean, like anyone else on this team, I love to get fired up when I'm playing. I think my, like, kind of thought process, and something that I've kind of really leaned into throughout my collegiate career is, like, just really big celebrations for my teammates and really leaning on my teammates during games and just in general and in life. Like, that is so important to me. I hope that Husker Nation gets to see my fire on the court and my energy, because I think that's what makes watching volleyball so fun, is getting to see all of us go crazy and celebrate each other. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just so excited to really, really experience Husker Nation. Like, I can't even wait for our first match at home.
Husker Nation's excited for you too. Being that that this is it for you in your college career, does it change your approach? How are you going about, again, making sure that you take advantage of every opportunity you have in your final season?
Yeah, I think it is a little bit of a unique perspective that maybe I missed out on in my earlier years of my career, because now it really does feel final. But I think, like, just staying really present is my goal throughout this experience. It is, like, one of the most unique volleyball experiences I'll probably have. And I really just want to like enjoy it and build as many connections as I can while I'm here. Obviously take advantage of the incredible coaching and incredible level of play in the gym. And I think that's what I'm most excited about. And just really knowing that like we're going to have a very special year and I get to be a part of that. And that makes me so excited and so grateful.
Oh, I love that. I just had one more question. What is that like coming into a team that has such high expectations and that came off the national championship appearance and you've been at the Final Four, but how is that going into that and the expectations that are already there?
Yeah, you know, after my San Diego team and I lost in the Final Four, there was just something that was like so unsettled in me, and I knew that like that's exactly where I want to be. I know that we could have won. I know that there's many different things that could have happened, but I want to be back on that court. I want to be back in that environment. And I think kind of carrying that personal like feeling and getting to come into a group that has that exact same fire and drive and goal for this season makes me really excited and really like helps kind of invigorate like those goals within me as well. So honestly, I think it's the perfect match because we all want to go back there and we all are ready to win. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to Lincoln. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I love Lincoln so far. It's been the best, and I'm just so happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love her perspective just in so many different aspects. The wanting to come here and compete and the competitiveness in the gym and you know, a lot of athletes would shy away from that, but she embraces that. She wants to be a part of that. Enjoying the duo of middle blockers with Andy Jackson and Rebecca Alec. And then, you know, just the perspective of knowing the expectations and that she's not scared of that. In fact, that's what has driven her and wanting to get back there as she has played on that stage, on the Final Four stage. So there's so many great perspectives, but I think she's going to be a great addition to this volleyball team this year.
Absolutely, and I'm with you 100%. Athletes that want to be even better than they are surround themselves with really good players. And the ones that don't, you kind of learn a lot about them. So I love that conversation. It was great to hear from Leyla. Can't wait to watch her play this fall at the Devaney Center. Woodhouse Auto Family, they're your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. All right, 402-413-2400. Phone lines, text lines open. You can pop in and offer us up an opinion. We'll come back with more of the show next.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting major Macy Byers with Campus News. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is building the first federal research center for climate-smart precision ag at UNL's Innovation Campus. News of the $160 million USDA facility comes as Nebraska prepares to build the new N-Farms platform near Meade, which will be among the largest precision ag research sites for universities across the nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Experience the difference and save more when you shop at one of our 3 convenient Woodhouse Ford locations. And right now, it's more affordable than ever to get behind the wheel of a new vehicle when you visit a Woodhouse Ford dealership. Going on now, save up to $10,000 off MSRP on the 2024 Ford F-150 Super Crew XLT with approved credit, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 7/08/2024. See dealer for details.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks, pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee is an official grocer partner of Husker Athletics and is your one-stop shop for making life easier, healthier, and happier. Visit your local Hy-Vee today. 402-413-2400, the number to be part of the program with a call or a text. Really enjoyed hearing from Leila Blackwell. I was just thinking during the break, and I know that John Cook mentioned this in the latest Kicking Back with the Cooks about how competitive their practices are, but man, Jessica, there's not a lot of difference between the starters and some of these backups. I mean, you just talked about the 3 middles with Alec and Jackson and now Blackwell. I mean, the depth on this team is ridiculous. And I know you need it when you go through a long season, but the red-white scrimmage ought to be really competitive when they get that going in August.
Oh, absolutely. It's very rare can you split a team up and it be even, right? I mean, especially even like the 1s versus 2s, even if you were just going that route, it still would be pretty close, pretty competitive. But it just most teams don't have that luxury, any sport really, that you can just split it up and it be that competitive and probably be pretty dang even when it was all said and done. But that's, I think it takes a different kind of athlete to want to come be a part of that. And that's why they're one of the best programs in the country. But a lot of the players that I talk with unsolicited, they talk about that, because I think for the most part, a lot of them have goals to want to be their best self, to be able to maybe potentially have goals, play volleyball beyond college. And where's the best place to go and develop and be the best version? Well, it's right here at Nebraska. So, I mean, half the Team USA is on this team. You know?
Exactly right.
So think about how many iron sharpens iron. We hear it all the time, but certainly is the case with Nebraska volleyball.
And so many of the current players are playing on the U21 team or the U20 national team, so they're getting that experience playing some international matches, even though they're still in college doing that. It just shows the depth of that program, and it's why it's in one of the elite programs in the country. I know the schedule came out last week. I wasn't on with you when the schedule came out. I love the schedule. They're really going to get tested. There's a couple of really difficult stretches in there where they're going to be playing a couple of West Coast. I got a West Coast swing they're going to have. A lot of road matches in November, so you're going to see a lot of them at the Devaney Center in September and October. They're going to travel quite a bit in November. And in the Big Ten, and now you've added Washington, which is a perennial power. Oregon has been so good. UCLA has had great history. They haven't been as good lately, but you add those four to that sport, and it just ratchets it up even more how dominant the Big Ten is going to be in that sport of volleyball.
Yeah, it's still, I don't know. I know it's happening. I know we've been talking about it, but it's still crazy to me to see the Big Ten opener for Nebraska volleyball is UCLA and USC.
Right.
You know, it's just, I'm not sure until I start seeing those teams play, Nebraska teams, our teams, if it's going to really sink in yet. I mean, they're on the schedule. I understand that, and but I don't know if it's really sunk in yet. Especially you're like the Big Ten opener is USC and UCLA. Just I don't know. It's just still weird to me.
You know, we're going to USC in November.
Oh yeah, I have family that live out there that have already hit me up for tickets.
Oh, I'm sure. Art in Los Angeles will be all over it.
Oh,
Art
yeah.
thinks I'd be a good commissioner. Art, that would be a disaster. I promise you, it'd be a disaster if I got named commissioner of anything. Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs the Midwest, premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. We're back to wrap up the hour one, 402-413-2400. Still time if you want to have a little input in the program. We're back to wrap up hour one next.
Discover the entire lineup of luxurious sedans and SUVs at Genesis of Southwest Omaha, like the powerful and thrilling Genesis G70. Plus, right now, lease the 2024 Genesis GV80 2.5 Turbo for just $499 per month. Start your car buying journey online at southwestomahagenesis.com today. 24 months, 12,000 miles per year with approved credit, tax, title, and license extra. $5,999 down plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GG240279. Offer expires July 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hey, Husker fans, go check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Get signed up for it totally free. And you can get a chance to enjoy all their perks on items in the store and even online if you go that route. Score big savings at Hy-Vee.com/perks. They are the official grocer partner of Husker Athletics, and it's your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, happier, all those good things. Go visit your local Hy-Vee today. Well, at the College World Series, trying to squeeze 3 games in today because they had a rain out last night. The early game, Florida eliminated Kentucky, so the Gators, who bounced the Huskers out of the tournament a couple of weeks ago down in Stillwater, still alive. They're about to play A&M. They need to beat A&M tonight and then beat them tomorrow to get to the championship series. We do know that Tennessee is in the championship series as they bested Florida State this afternoon 7-2. So it's an all SEC final. I was worried about that. And that's kind of what I said. I thought it would be Tennessee and A&M. And then you go to the softball World Series. It was an all Big 12 final, at least for 12 more days with OU and Texas.
Then it will be all SEC final.
Right. So, I mean, the dominance of the South kind of continues, and I just love it when somebody like, even an Oregon or somebody up north can get in there. And Oregon State won a couple titles a year ago. I love that, but here we are, all SEC championship going to happen in Omaha. Not a fan.
That's like the lesser of two evils. I mean, who do you root for? I don't know if I can even root.
Well, there's a Husker connection at A&M now.
Oh yeah. You gonna go there, Greg?
I don't know how our audience feels about that. But
I'm not touching that.
Cole should jump in and test
Cole's
that.
laughing. He's laughing at you.
Sure he
nervously
is.
laughing. Nervously laughing like he starts getting nervous when you don't get to a break in time.
I know he's always yelling at me. It just kind of hurts my feelings. I know, Cole. I got to take a break. Yeah, he's going to have his hands full tomorrow. You're going to get some well-deserved time off. I've got some things I got to take care of with my doctor tomorrow. So, JB, we're turning him loose tomorrow night. You got JB, folks, the entire 2-hour show. We got a great guest lineup for him. But with JB, you don't know. You don't know where it's going to go. And I even warned the guests that I lined up for him. I said, it's JB. Be ready for anything.
I thought it was funny when in our group text about what you wanted to talk about. He wanted to make sure and talk about what Larry Bird, the Celtics,
College World Series.
Oh, College World Series.
That.
But he always has to throw in his Boston fandom somehow.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing, though? I mean, he hasn't lived in Boston in probably 40-some years and still, because he grew up there. And I think that's probably natural, people that relocate. And he brought up the example of Husker fans who call Big Red Reaction from all over the country, all over the world, in fact, that call Coatney and those guys and talk Husker football after games. So wherever you grow up, that usually is who you're going to be your rooting interest for life. And so
yeah, for sure.
He's a big sports fan.
It'll be fun, though. He does got some good guests, so it should be a fun night. Is Cole's joke of the week still on the table, though? That's the big question.
I hope so. Cole's got to talk himself on. Cole, you got to do that for us, okay?
Yeah, that would be an interesting one with JB as my counterpart, but I'll make it work.
All right, get in there. Tell him you got to do it. It's mandatory. It's on the log.
It's like basically sponsored now at this point. I don't know by who, but I mean, it's the most popular segment of the week, so we can't miss it.
Well, now that's maybe overstating it just a little bit. That is the most popular segment of the week. But, so JB will have to work you in. We'll see if that gets done tonight. All right, James Williams coming up next hour, the sack man who came bursting onto the scene midseason last year for the Cornhuskers, had a couple of sacks, was a situational guy, one of those players that kind of snuck onto a game mid-October, and you're kind of going, who's 90? I had to do a quick dive to the depth chart to find who that was. Jessica had a chance to catch up with him today. We'll hear that conversation coming up in hour number 2. Also going to tell you some fascinating numbers about attendance at Husker athletic events. This will swell you with pride if you see this, with what Nebraska is able to do, and it's a great compliment to the great fans of Cornhusker Athletics that is the case. Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. Making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Back with more after the break.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends, over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness, a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Good evening. I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Late last night, former San Francisco Giants and Major League Baseball Hall of Famer Willie Mays died at the age of 93. Over 23 Major League seasons, virtually all of which were with the Giants, Mays hit .301 with 660 home runs, totaled 3,293 hits, scored more than 2,000 runs, and won 12 Gold Gloves. He was also a two-time MVP and finished in the top 10 of the MVP voting 10 other times. Sticking with baseball, former Husker Matt Waldron got his 5th win of the season today in the Padres' 5-2 win over the Phillies. Waldron went 7 innings, allowed just 1 run on 5 hits, while striking out 6 and only issuing 2 walks. Another former Husker is also pitching tonight in Cade Povich against the Yankees. Povich has pitched 2 innings so far. He's allowed 1 run on 1 hit, but walked 4 and struck out 1. That game between the Orioles and Yankees is tied 1-1 in the 3rd. And the College World Series continued play up in Omaha today. Florida defeated Kentucky 15-4 to end the Wildcats season. Tennessee defeated Florida State 7-2 to send the Seminoles home. It's the first time since 1951 that the Vols have reached the championship in Omaha. And finally, just underway in the 3rd game of the day between Texas A&M and Florida as they're scoreless in the 1st. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here come the Razorbacks, bumping over the left. Gillen, she's stopped. Rick Allen, block number 11 for the team 16. They're body bumping in Lincoln.
Dillon turns, hands it off to Dowdell, left side, bounces to the outside, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Dante Dowdell.
Shelley throws down low. Markowski kicks it out to Jazz, knocked away by Marshall. 7 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Shelley for 3. You betcha! Huskers take their first lead of the game with 30 seconds left.
Here's the 2-2 pitch.
Called strike 3. Breaking ball outside corner. Make it an even 10 for McConaughey, and the Hoosiers leave 2 more here in the top of the 7th.
Now the 3-2, and Bredwell swings and hammers it deep center field. She's gone! Home run, Eva Bredwell, and a 2-0 lead for the Cornhuskers.
Tominaga with 9, 8, 7, starts down the right side, goes to the right sideline, 4 seconds, step back, 30-footer. Got it! Unbelievable! I don't believe what I just saw. Tominaga knocks it home.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Found a little item that Camden did not have in the ticker. There was a qualifier today in Florida for the U.S. Junior Amateur. It's a USGA event put on for amateurs, and a young man by the name of Charlie Woods won the qualifiers. He shot 71. And yep, that's Tiger's boy. He can play, Jessica.
Have you seen the synced up videos of all of the same mannerisms he does? The same as Tiger. It's pretty cool.
Funny.
He's, and he's got a cool relationship with some of the guys because he's been around the course. So Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, some of those guys. So I think it's going to be neat. It's only a matter of time, right, before he's there consistently.
It's a daunting thing. I worry about him because, my goodness, you're being compared to maybe the greatest golfer of all time as your dad, and you're probably not going to get to that level, but he's really good. He's got a great swing. I think he's got a chance to be a pro golfer, but good for him. Shot a 71 today.
You think about it, Tiger helped change the golf to where it is today, where there are more competitive golfers, and it's made it more exciting to watch because it's not just one person dominating. But when Tiger played, he was just so head and shoulders above everybody else. Now I think there's more parity in the game, and so it's a little bit different time of golf too, a little bit different, I guess, circumstances that he is going into than when Tiger was in. He just was so much better than everybody else. It was intriguing to follow at the time just because it's like, oh, what else can he do to best himself. He was just playing against himself, but it also wasn't as much fun because you knew the Tiger was just going to win every time he stepped out on the course.
Yeah, you're right, though. There's so much more parity out there, and that's why I love last week's U.S. Open, because the leaderboard was attractive with guys you knew, and DeChambeau and Rory, and there were some other guys up there that were household names, and that made that tournament so much fun. Mentioned last hour, we're going to talk about some just mind-boggling attendance numbers for Husker Athletics, and in particular, Husker women's sports. They led the nation last year in the attendance figures for the three main team sports of volleyball, women's basketball, and softball.
So last year they were number 2. They were behind South Carolina with the 4 sports: the women's basketball, volleyball, softball, and soccer. So we had talked to some of the coaches last year and said, all right, Husker Nation, here's the challenge. We got to beat South Carolina. And, well, Nebraska just absolutely crushed it. They're the number 1 school in the nation for women's attendance in those 4 main sports. So they just outrank South Carolina, LSU, Iowa, Texas, and then Nebraska is the only school in the country to rank in the top 15 nationally in average home attendance in all 4 major women's team sports. Volleyball was number 1, softball number 10, soccer number 15, and women's basketball number 15 as well. And you know, with softball, they had just expanded the stadium. Jordy Ball gets hurt. It was also pretty cold there those first few series of the season. So for the softball attendance to still be right there in the top 10, just so impressive. And look out for next season. That's only going to continue to grow. I think there's going to be several sellouts out there at Bowlin Stadium next year.
And obviously the 92,000 at Memorial helped that thing for volleyball, and they won't have that this year. We're not going to do an event in the stadium this year, but it just shows you the support and the passion. People kid me all the time around the country. Some of my cohorts at other schools, they're like, "How long is your football pregame show?" And are you guys already on the air at this point? Or are they? I tell them about Sports Nightly, and they're like, "Really? You do a year-round show for 2 hours focused on primarily the Huskers?" And I go, "Yeah, there's just a passion here from this fan base to know about their teams, and it's really special." And I think, I certainly feel honored to be a part of it, and a tip of the cap to everybody on this. And I think baseball finished 10th or 11th in the country in attendance, which again, being these northern schools and the outdoor sports like that is just phenomenal. But we are unique, and I know we don't have a pro team, and there's not a Nebraska State. I get all of that, but I think it kind of points out to why we have expanded pregame shows, and we do this show every night during the week.
Yeah, and a lot of that, too, is not just football. It's the women's sports. We expanded the volleyball pregame show, the women's basketball pregame show. We launched a volleyball podcast this past year. It's incredible. And I've said that from the start of when I got here is a big reason why I wanted to come be a part of this is the support, not just for football, but for across the programs and especially women's sports. And for as much as we've seen this explosion of women's sports over the last couple of years, you could argue that Nebraska's been a trendsetter in that and have certainly paved the way. And they set the bar of how it's done, and not just for one sport, all sports, and all their women's sports. And it makes a difference, too. All 4 of those coaches that we had in here last year came in here and said how much that helps this team win games at times. Soccer was in some close games last year that they ended up, the home field advantage certainly played a part in that. And certainly with women's basketball and some of the knocking off Iowa, that crowd there and some of the games that they were able to win. And it is a big advantage for these programs to be able to continue to do what they do. And a lot of reason why, I'm sitting here talking to Leila Blackwell, and I talked to Britt, who grew up in it, but Britt Prince, and, Amaya Hargrove, who's from Illinois, and these athletes that are certainly from Nebraska see it and want to be a part of it. But then now you have these athletes from out of state that take notice of it and, hey, I want to go be a part of that. So there's so many reasons why it's so important for that to continue to grow and continue to be there to support, not only to bring in the recruits, but also to help these teams win and to continue to make postseason runs. There's no question that this fan base helps propel those teams into what they do in the postseason.
Absolutely. To me, and you might disagree, to me, soccer was the biggest, I guess, surprise. To me, they were the best story maybe of the year. I mean, to get to the Elite Eight, there weren't those expectations weren't there preseason for them to do that. To win a share of the Big Ten championship in the regular season, that they weren't projected to be like that. To me, that was an amazing story, and led by Eleanor Dale, who was just an amazing goal scorer, and we're going to miss her, obviously. But that, to me, if I look back at the last academic year, that was maybe the best story of the year in my eyes.
Well, and NCAA women's soccer is competitive. You know, there's a lot of really, really good teams. It's hard to make postseason runs in soccer. And what's also neat about that team, I remember going back to the summer and having a couple of the Nebraska girls in here and saying that when they were scrimmaging in the spring, Coach Walker split it up. It was like half the team, they had enough to have half the team be from the state of Nebraska. And so it was Nebraska against the world when they were scrimmaging. And so, you know, it's just, there's a lot of familiar faces from the state. And Sarah Weber, no doubt going to be the star this year. She's been the star since she stepped on campus. And so who's going to score alongside her? Who's going to help fill that void? But, you know, I saw Coach Walker a couple weeks ago, and you could tell he likes this group. They went through spring practices as well. And he even though they're losing someone like Eleanor Dale, he's still, you can tell he feels good about this group. Much like a couple of the coaches you talked to that ended up coming to fruition, I feel like Coach Walker kind of has that same glow about him about this group. I think he really likes them.
Yeah, I hope so. And, you know, we're not that far away. They start playing exhibition games, I think it's the first week of August. Their schedule is out. You can go check it out at Huskers.com. And they're slowly growing kind of they've got the student group, the Husker Hooligans, which I believe Camden's has been a member, at least got a T-shirt with the Husker Hooligans. So, you know, that's great. And we all know soccer is such a big sport around the world. We don't quite maybe grasp it here in the U.S. like they do in Europe, where it just is bonkers and makes the NFL crowd look like a bunch of kindergartners the way they act over there. But, you know, I think people appreciate good athletes, good competition, and Hibner Stadium's a wonderful place to go watch a match. And I would encourage you, if you've not been out to one, go out and see one here this fall when they get onto the pitch, as I use my soccer knowledge.
Hopefully they bring back the pups at the pitch again. That's what they called it, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
That was Sonny's first sporting event.
Was it?
Yeah. We sat down there and behind the Sammy Hawk goal and rooted on Sammy. She's back again.
She is?
Yep. She was nursing an injury. It's been a while since she's been in studio. We need to tell her to stop by. But
does she have eligibility left?
Yes.
What?
I know, right? I think she's got a COVID year.
My goodness, I thought she started college in 2018.
They pretty much have, right, almost everybody back besides Eleanor.
Yeah. And hey, that's a big. The leading goal scorer in the school history, that's big.
I mean, I think they maybe some seniors have some COVID. This is the last year of COVID, right? This is the last COVID year. Leila Blackwell is one of those athletes that has a COVID year, so I think we're about out of that.
Gotta be, right?
Right?
Gotta be really close. Gotta be.
Unless you have like a medical red shirt that ended up, I think we're almost run out of that.
Well, that's something to be proud of, Husker fans, and it's a tribute to you. You guys are the ones that buy the tickets, fill up the stadiums, and, you know, keep our jobs alive. And again, it goes back to why we do a sports nightly. There's that much passion in this state to hear and talk about Husker sports, and that's why we're here year round. I tell people that, and they're like, "You got to be kidding me! You don't shut that down when basketball ends?" I'm like, "No, we go through the spring and the summer and get ready for fall camps, and yeah, we fill it." And it just boggles most people's mind that they're able to get that done. Sarpy County, where great food, drink, shopping, concerts, and fun await you. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com. We're back to hear from the sack man, James Williams. We'll do that next.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting Major Connor Clark with Campus News. UNL's Center for Transformative Teaching works with educators across all majors on new teaching strategies for a new generation of students. The Center for Transformative Teaching helps instructors grapple with AI in the classroom, use data modeling to enhance student learning, earn grants for exploring new teaching methods, and provides crucial insights that power academic success.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Husker fans, springtime in Sharpe County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSharpie.com.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
People count on you to buckle up. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier, premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. We were talking about the hooligans, and I said I think Camden is one, and let's get him on. Say hi, Camden, so we can get you on camera. You got your hooligan shirt on tonight, right?
I mean, right on cue. He's wearing it tonight.
There.
How about that?
Yeah,
That's a good-looking shirt.
I wear it a lot. It's a good shirt.
Yeah, and you know some players on the team, right?
Yep, a couple people that went to my high school. Like Kama Carpenter, she's younger, but then Haley Peterson. She started for a couple of years now, but graduated with her. So I try and catch at least a game a year.
Did you call any of their matches? No.
Not yet. I said maybe this year I can get on some color for a Big 10 plus one.
Because you do quite a bit of work on KRNU, and so they do every home match for soccer. So that's awesome.
They're fun to watch.
Coach. If Coach Walker's listening, I'd love a shirt.
Come on, Coach Walker.
Jess, you want one?
Yes, get us some soccer gear. Get us some Nebraska soccer gear.
Yeah, I'll take a hooligan shirt. I'll wear that around proudly. Camden, thank you for being our model. And he backed up my story that he's a hooligan.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned it, and then he said, "I'm wearing the shirt tonight."
Yeah.
So
I'm like, what?
Right on cue. Right on cue.
Perfect. Well, we're kind of making our way through some of the Husker football players. They've had some in-house media where they're taking pictures and video for the pregame starting lineups and all that type of thing that you see during the season. So it's allowed Jessica to grab a couple of players. And earlier today, she had a chance to talk to defensive lineman James Williams, who burst onto the scene midseason last year. We called him the Sack Man.
How does it feel to be going through this now that you've done it for a full year?
Very excited, and having a full year's experience is really going to be helpful for me this upcoming season.
Take me back through last season, actually last summer, when you decided to come to the camp and how it all unfolded for you to get the offer to come here.
Yeah, so just got invited up to this camp, balled out at the camp, and Coach Rowe was like, hey, I need you here. So ended up here, and then 2 months later, I'm playing in games for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So life sure turned around pretty quickly for me.
So you went to junior college first. Take me through that and why you went that route first and then ended up at camp here.
Yeah, so just a late bloomer coming out of high school. Didn't develop as quick as some of the other kids, so didn't even hit my growth spurt till my senior year. Didn't play till my senior year, balled out my senior year, led the state in sacks, then had bad grades, made some poor decisions through COVID and stuff like that. So only route for me was probably going to be junior college, and it ended up being one of the best decisions I made. So because I ended up here, so it was a tough experience. It was a hard road to get here, but I am glad that I am finally here.
Oh, that's so awesome! What a great story. What kept you driven when it wasn't an easy route that you took?
Yeah, it was definitely hard. I've had a couple of different motivating factors. Number one would be like all the people who said I couldn't ever do this, and another one is just some people that are close to me, like my girlfriend Leila. She has kept me very at home and central, and then even my dad. My dad has done a lot for me on this road, and he did a lot for me to get here. So I'm very appreciative of those specific people.
So if you hit your growth spurt late, I'm assuming you were not playing defensive line.
No, I was still playing D-line, but that's why I wasn't playing. I didn't weigh over 200 pounds until I became a junior in high school. So, long road. I appreciate all of my coaches throughout my career being patient with me. I was always a late bloomer. So, once I figured out how to grow into my body and then use my strength and speed, it was over for everyone else.
So, I mean, obviously an elite pass rusher. Where does that come from? How were you able to develop that even despite the lack of size?
Yeah, I think some of that might be a little bit of genetics. My father played defensive line for the Oklahoma Sooners in the early 2000s. And then my mom was an Olympic swimmer, so I have a lot of the ability to bend and flex, but some of that is because I've been playing so many different sports for a while. I've played baseball, basketball, like all kinds of different sports, like even here and there. Those are the ones I did mainly and competitively. But I think all the experiences and all the stuff that I've been throughout my life has really helped me grow my experience in my ability to play football and rush the passer.
So you get the offer, you come here last summer, and then you're on the scout team, and then you play some games. But what was it that went into you catching Coach Knighton's eye, Coach Roll's eye, that they put you out there, and then you immediately started wreaking havoc?
Yeah, so with how the game has developed and like changed with all the rules and stuff like that, passing the football has become so important, and my ability to get after the passer was what really caught both of their eye, and they were like, hey, we can actually use this guy. It's not just somebody who's just going to come up here and be a nice, fun success story. He's actually going to play for us. But I just think my ability to get after the passer was probably what really caught their eye, and they were like, hey, we can really make something out of him. So, and I was really raw when they found me, so I appreciate them even taking a chance on me. I wasn't anywhere near where I'm at the level today, so yeah.
So, and then again with the redshirt rule and being able just to play 4 games, how good was last year for you to continue to develop and still get the playing experience, but then to be able to continue to grow your game?
For sure, and it was great considering we have some tough road environments this year at Ohio State, at USC, but I had to deal with some adversity last year on the road. We played Colorado when they broke their home record for attendance. And they rushed the field, so that was hard. And then we also played at Michigan State, and they were throwing stuff at us at the end of the game. So being in harsh environments like that, and then even being at home in front of like our 90,000 faithful, it was really good for me to get that, because it was really nerve-wracking the first couple of times I did it. But now that I have that experience, it's really going to do a lot for me.
How did the first career sack feel in front of 90,000 out here in Memorial Stadium?
Well, I'm sure everybody saw me jump up and do that really lame jump. So that's the feeling it gives you. It's really nice, and to see so many different people support it I'm pretty sure on Saturdays Memorial Stadium is the busiest place in Nebraska or something like that. So it's just such a huge shout out to our fans and all that they do for us.
Tell us about the nickname Sackman, because it was like immediately when you came off the field and they were all calling you the Sackman.
That's Coach Knighton's nickname for me. I didn't come up with that. So everybody knows that I'm not corny, but no, I didn't come up with that. He started calling me that in the middle of a meeting after I just continued to keep getting sacks. So he just said that randomly. He gives everybody in the room nicknames. That just happened to be one of the ones that stuck with the media. So. Yeah.
I thought it was so cool how, just how many people played in the defensive line, but how supportive you guys were all of each other. How fun is that to be a part of a group like that you guys just embrace each other and all want to play your part?
For sure. I've learned to love a lot of those guys a lot. It was definitely hard with them at first. I faced some adversity with a lot of those guys, but the older kids in the room like Ty, Nash, Jamari, and Elijah Judy, they've all like really done a great job of keeping me accountable and like helping me become a pro and more professional. About the whole business side of this. And then even some of the younger guys are just so much fun to be around. Kai Wallen, Sua Lefotu, and then Vincent Jackson. Like those are some of my favorite guys to hang out with, and they really make like the experience of coming here, and like sometimes when you don't want to get up in the morning, like you do it because those guys are doing it too. So it's a true brotherhood, and Death Row sticks together for sure.
What is it about T. Knighton and the way he's able to get the best out of his guys and develop so many players to be ready to play?
Yeah, he's a player's coach. I would say he knows when he needs to be hard on us, and he knows when he needs to be a little softer. If we've had a hard day, we had a good practice, but Coach Rule's being hard on us because he expects a lot out of us. He'll be a little bit more chill in the meetings, and we'll be calmer and stuff like that. He knows how to bring everybody in the group and their elite talent all together and as one. And not a whole lot of coaches can do that, because, like he said, we have 8 to 9 starters in this room. There are guys in this room who won't start this year, who will be starters elsewhere, and will be great for Nebraska in the coming years. But the fact that he can balance those kind of guys and not keep egos high and want to keep guys out of the portal should just be a huge testament as to how much he does for us and like how much we truly do love playing for him.
Being that there are so many, you said 8, 9 starters in that room, but everybody gets the opportunity. It's like a line change with this defensive line. How good is that overall for the group that you can stay fresh and have a lot of different guys contribute? That's great in the short term because of us being able to rotate and stay fresh, but that's also good for the long term. We have ambitious goals this year. We want to go far, and 17 games is the max amount you can play now, as opposed to it being 15 in the past. So Coach Rule, having been in the NFL, has talked about rookies and like younger players who haven't been experienced to this level running into a bit of a wall towards that back half, and I felt that last year. I didn't think I could. Once we got to Wisconsin and Iowa, I felt like my body was done. I couldn't do it anymore. So it's so huge what they're doing for us. Being able to rotate those guys. You can keep Nash and Ty playing 40 plays a game instead of 70 and 80, and risking them getting injured and then tired by the end of the year. So I think we'll surprise a lot of people, and we'll look really fresh towards December and hopefully January. Being that this D-line did so many great things last year, what's the motivation for you guys to take it up another notch this season?
We need to get after the quarterback more. Coach White has preached that a lot. He's talked about him not having to blitz extra people and us be able to get home with just 3 or 4. So that I thought that was the biggest area of improvement we could have made as a group. We have great individual pass rushers, but once we could put it together and all of us be there at the same time coordinated, I think that was what was really the biggest change, and I think it's going to look a lot different this year.
All right, for you personally, what are your goals? What did you work on going into this spring and then in the summer, and where you trying to be? What are the things you're trying to improve on going into this season?
Yeah, just wanted to be an every down player. I wanted to be somebody that, although you guys knew I could do something on 3rd and 7 or long, I want to be able to play on 1st and 2nd down and make plays there too and hear my name there. Another goal I wanted to make sure I did was becoming more professional. Like as I said earlier with Ty, Nash, and Jamari, they really helped with me doing that kind of stuff. But just making sure that I fit what I need to do on this, for my role on this team. If they need me to get a sack on 3rd and 10 with the game on the line, I'm there for them. If they need me to come in and make a play because Jamari's hurt or something like that, and they need me to stop the run, I'm prepared for that too. So it's really just about what will help the team win this year.
I had not chatted with him, but he was fun. He actually wants to get into journalism. So you could tell a lot of those guys that want to do journalism are pretty solid interviews. But he was funny. He had great perspective, knowledge of the game. And, his dad, you heard him say it was a defensive lineman for Oklahoma. So, and actually I know his aunt, so through a mutual friend, so kind of small world there. But he was one of the great stories from last year. Like, where did that guy come from? And then he ended up being one of those guys that was in the rotation of so many that Terrence Knighton just kept calling on. I should also note he was wearing number 10. He was number 90 last year. There might be some number shifts if Jamari Butler might get a single digit. You never know, but he is wearing 10 there. We'll see if that's the number that he continues to wear. But that was for media day today, of course.
I loved his goals about I just don't want to be a 3rd and long guy. I want to be able to play on 1st and 2nd down. That's great. That's what you should attain to. That you can also defend the run. You're not just a one-trick pony. So I love the fact that he threw that out there. And again, it just keeps pointing out all the depth that room has and the development that Terrence keeps rolling those guys through. But you're right, he was really impressive. And I love stories like this because this is, when you go back to last August and we're talking about guys that may play and have an impact in that position, his name wouldn't even have been a thought. And there he was by the end of the year, guy that you were excited to see come out there on 3rd and down.
And what an incredible story. He talked about how he hit a late growth spurt and then he didn't have his grades. And so, but he stuck with it, went to JUCO and then had a chance to come to a camp and, flashed at camp and then got the opportunity and then, kept his head down and worked on the scout team. And I guess he was racking up all the sacks in practice and on scout team, and that's where Terrence Knighton got the nickname, the Sack Man. And so that's what he's like. I want everybody to know I did not come up with that nickname myself. That was a T Knighton nickname, but he kept proving himself, and then he was one of those guys that gave them no choice but to get that guy on the field. But then it's so good because they were able to utilize the 4-game red shirt, and you heard him say he probably wasn't quite ready body-wise to be able to go a full season, and so, but he got a feel for it and was able to make an impact and understand what he needed to work on to be better at, to be able to even play more this coming year. So it was great. I cannot wait to see how he builds off of what he did last year, because it was almost like when he ran out there, you knew something special was going to happen. There was about to be fireworks.
Yeah, the fans would get excited. So pot roast named Sackman.
Yes.
Okay, I got the connection.
Yeah, so I think it was like we said, who's 90? He ran out there.
Yeah.
And then his first play, I think, or first series, he got a sack. And then he comes off on the sideline, and they're all calling him the Sack Man. And so that's when I told you they're calling him the Sack Man. And then I think we kind of ignited that to take off from there. But it stuck, and I like the nickname.
Oh, that's fantastic. I just love those kind of stories. And what a guy to talk to. I think you maybe found another one that could be a go-to for you during the season.
Yes. I take notes of that throughout every spring and fall. And, okay, who are the guys that are going to be solid interviews every time? But he was great, for sure.
Yeah. I enjoyed that a lot. That was fun to hear. Hey, Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. All right, 402-413-2400 phone lines. Text lines are open. They've been kind of quiet tonight. We'd love to have you be a part of the program if you want to choose to do that here today. Back with more of the show next.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates may apply and may vary by carrier. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Husker fans, springtime in Sharpe County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSharpe.com.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all-electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Hey, Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program. You get exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Go score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee is an official grocer partner of Husker Athletics, and it's your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, and happier. Visit your local Hy-Vee today. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the show with a call or a text. And I'm sure you've talked about this in the last couple of weeks, Jessica, but the Caitlin Clark story won't seem to kind of go away right now. I mean, there's still flagrant fouls involved in her. You still, I think, pick up maybe some jealousy from some of the other players. How long is this going to go? And boy, if I'm her a little bit, I'm kind of going, wait a minute. I brought all this attention to the WNBA. I'm helping sell out arenas, and I'm getting tomahawk trying to drive to the basket on things. To me, this is a fascinating story. There's a lot of elements to this thing, but at some point, it's got to settle in, doesn't it?
Well, and at first, we were all saying how great it was because everyone was talking about it, who talked about the WNBA at this time before this season? Not very many outlets, and we're talking across the country from the major news outlets that have major sports programs, Stephen A. Smith, ESPN, Fox, all of them were talking about the WNBA, local sports radio. We were talking about it. But at some point, it's like, okay, are they going to maybe put a bad taste in people's mouths? Because it's all negative, right? We're just sitting here talking about all the drama. And, it's one thing if it provides some fireworks, whatever, but it's another when it's just like this, and it just is ongoing. And it doesn't seem like it's being handled very well from an optics standpoint from the top of the league. She got left off the Olympic roster, which I do understand, and I think she understands. But, if you're talking about building the brand and getting eyeballs on and all of that, she probably would have been a good addition. But I think there's just so much animosity that they couldn't put her on. And so there's a lot of crap that I wish would settle down and just be what it needs to be in just the game of basketball. And but people have made it into such bigger things, and I don't know. I think a lot of it boils down to, and honestly, it's not just Caitlin Clark. I think there's a lot of the rookies. There's some issues there with she has a big brand, but there are several rookies that came in to the league that have already had a brand, that had the NIL deal, that have brought their fans from college to the WNBA, that I think maybe some of the players are a little bit resentful of, and they should embrace it and say, hey, at least I'm not playing in empty arenas. And I know the attendance is continuing to grow, but not like this, not to this degree. And so they should be appreciative that the game is where it is. And hey, they are all so super quick to say, I know I'm not here without the women that came before, but apparently that's not enough. I mean, it's just, aren't you glad that these barriers are being broken down and the doors are being opened? I don't know. It's to me a little bit, I don't like the way that some of them are making it. It's not pretty, and it's okay. Let's appreciate for what it is and quit making it so ugly.
Yeah, it needs to simmer. And I'm not our biggest fan, but I think she's handled herself pretty darn well.
I think so too.
I mean, helping to get charter flights for everybody's teams now. I mean, just that alone, if I were a player, I'd go up and shake her hand and thank her before every game. And let's not kid ourselves. There's a race element to this as well, I think, that goes into this. But I think for the sport, you're right. Initially, all the attention was great, but it needs to settle in and be about the basketball now and not about, is she being treated poorly? Are other teams out to get her? Is there a bounty over her head? All those things are such negative connotations that I think it's got to settle in. It probably will, but it just seems like every couple of days you'll see another flagrant foul, and you'll watch the highlights, and they talk about that, and the post-game interviews are all about that. So
I will say though, the WNBA is a very physical league, and it always has been. They let them play in the WNBA, so it's a lot different, especially when she's coming from college basketball, which we've heard from multiple referee sources that they were told to let let her go, and basically she's the face of this thing. She's bringing in a lot of eyeballs. She got away with a lot. She got a lot of calls go her way, and so now she's taking it to the next level, and she's not going to get the same kind of calls. Now, yes, they are flagrant, but I did see something the other day where she's not even the most flagrant fouled player. There's a lot of physicality that goes on in that league. They let them play, and it's how it's always been. So it's probably, too, a lot of it is a welcome to the league rookie type of thing as well. And again, she's getting a big brunt of it, and because she's such a big name and a big news source, it's what's being talked about, but she's not the only one that's getting some of the physicality.
No doubt. A&M leads Florida 2-0, top of the third. If the Aggies win, they're into the championship, and it would be Tennessee and A&M. Florida needs to beat them tonight, and then again tomorrow. Tomorrow would be an if-necessary game. If A&M wins tonight, it goes dark in Omaha until Saturday. The championship series will start Saturday night between Tennessee and Texas A&M. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a question. Got a text in that said, love the interview with the sack man, with Jessica. Coach Knighton is the real deal. It shows me that this staff can evaluate talent extremely well. Looks like the momentum is upward and really strong. Hashtag go Coach World GBR later, Roger. So Roger, 100%, you're right on it. I think that they I think revel. I think this staff revels in trying to find that diamond in the rough. I think they challenge each other, Jessica, to try to go find the next James Williams for your position group.
Yeah, and we do give a lot of credit to Terrence Knighton, and rightfully so, but you also got a tip of the cap to Tony White and recognizing those pieces and to put them in scheming up the plays that he knows. Like, as we heard James just talking about, he wants to be more than just the one-dimensional type of player, which he's elite at, but being able to do more things for this defense. But, Tony White recognizes some of the things that he can really utilize and puts them in great situations. And so, he also deserves some praise too. But I absolutely, Coach Knighton is the real deal. I agree with you. And just the amount of players that were developed and ready to play that they were able to rely on, young talent, old talent we hadn't heard of before, especially when we were going into the season. Like, do we have 3 defensive linemen? We couldn't, we just weren't really sure what this group had, and then it ended up being one of the strengths of this football team.
Roger, thanks for the text, 402-413-2400. If problem gambling is burning up your money, there is a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. There's no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. We're back to put a period to the end of this show. Next.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Elevate your journey and command the road like never before with a new vehicle from Woodhouse GMC. Plus, with our current offers going on now, you'll save even more. Receive up to $8,000 off MSRP on the 2024 GMC Sierra 1500. Woodhouse GMC, we are professional grade. with approved credit. Must have a 2010 or newer trade-in to qualify. Offer applies to select stock numbers. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires July 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. 402-413-2400, the number to be part of the program. The last couple of minutes of this show, we just got a text from Steve up in Bellevue. Said it's talking about Willie Mays, and he said, I started watching baseball back in 1960. I watched them every Saturday. Big Yankees fan. Mickey Mantle was my hero. Saw him at his greatest to his worst as his health deteriorated, but I really became a bigger fan when I read books from outsiders. Mickey, of course, was from Oklahoma. They were trying to pump him up. He was a fallible man. He sure was. He had a lot of faults. And in his final interview, he said, I should not be your hero, your idol. Don't be like me. And that endeared me forever. A lot of people, it was the big debate in that era. Are you a Mays or are you a Mantle guy? I mean, I love Mickey and his swagger and all that, but for me, the better all-around player would have been Willie Mays. But appreciate that take there from Steve up in Bellevue. Also a take on our Caitlin Clark talk. Part of it is her internal personality, whining, arrogant, entitled. Her own teammates don't even care for her, so there is that. Maybe just put some of this on her. I don't know that I would agree that her teammates don't like her. I don't think that was. I don't get that feeling from Iowa. Did you, Jess?
No, I think her teammates really like her. I don't think there's a problem there at all. It doesn't seem to be from the interviews that I've seen. So, and you saw that they had a big celebration when they drafted her, and the team was there in the arena, and they were all celebrating. It was inevitable that she was going to get selected number 1 overall, but they were all pumped that she was coming because. And I looked up her stats just now because we were talking about it in the YouTube chat. I mean, she's averaging over 16 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and she's had a couple tough games, but she's still, I mean, I think she dropped 30 the other night. You're still seeing, it's just an adjustment. You have to remember with the WNBA, they don't have as much time to go through training camp. They go straight from playing college to getting drafted, and in a month they're playing at the next level. So it's just a little bit of an adjustment period.
Yeah. And again, I'm no big Caitlin Clark fan, but I think in this case, she's getting kind of the bad end of the deal. But I would dispute the texter. I appreciate the text, but I can't sit there and say her teammates don't like her. Now, maybe she's having problems with the fever and the team in Indiana, but I think in Iowa she was really well liked.
I don't think she is with Indiana either. I don't think it's her team on either front, college or pro. I think it's the team she's playing against. But
yeah.
Hey, fun fact: I share the same birthday with Mickey Mantle.
Do you really?
Yep.
Well,
I've always remembered that. So when you have what famous people were born on your birthday, Mickey Mantle.
Yours.
Yep.
What town was he from? Do you know in Oklahoma?
Spavinaw, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Was where he was born.
I knew it was a small town. He played a lot of baseball in the summer months in Kansas and Missouri with the old league called the KLM League, and a lot of people in this area still revel about. And Mickey was great. And if you've seen some movies about them, they will go with all that. All right, tomorrow night, hey, this is dangerous. We're turning this thing over to JB tomorrow night. So John will be your host. Jessica and I are going to be off for the day. So enjoy and take care of JB for us, would you, folks, tomorrow night? He'll be a hoot. I know he's got some guests lined up, hoping to talk to Ron Brown, the former Husker assistant coach, now part of the program as an advisor for Husker football. That should be a lot of fun. Yeah, so hopefully, Coach Brown will be part of the program, and also Tom Chattel will be by to give us his inside take at a lot of things going on with Husker sports. I know Matt Rural has a presser tomorrow, so there'll be some reaction coming off that as well. Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. All right, thanks to Camden and Cole and all of you for listening tonight. Have a great night. Be kind to JB tomorrow night, would you? Good night, everybody.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum